and a truckload of furniture and different soft goods and clothing. There's a lot of clothing coming for the auction as well. They've either unpicked it or remanufactured products from that clothing. So there are some soft toys, some pets getting made. So they'll be stuffed with the old couch parts that we couldn't repurpose. There's not a lot of waste at the end of the day, and that's another part of the learning. It's about sustainability and not throwing money to try and resolve a problem, but actually resolve it within the resources we have and still add value and make it valuable to someone else.
I'm curious, you mentioned culinary art. What is culinary art?
Students.
Yeah.
I mean, they're everything from chefs to experience design as a professional degree. And during the culinary arts program, their focus is on food and service and delivery and business. So they're really good at business, that whole student cohort. But this is the first time that a lot of them have been in the workshop, and we've repurposed some jarrah parts. We've made some cutlery servers out of an old jarrah beam, and it will all be food safe. So using new technologies, it may not be transferable tomorrow to their work, but it's certainly going to be good for them for the future.
Fantastic stuff, Andrew. We're out of time. Quickly, if people are interested in checking out the goods, where do they need to go to see and buy?
Yeah, Otago Polytechnic. It's next Thursday, the 25th of June at 5:30. It's in the hub in our main building. And Emerson's are actually supporting it as well with some local beer.
Thank you so much for talking to us, Andrew. Andrew Wallace there, Otago Polytech School of Design Senior Lecturer, talking about the students who are upcycling stuff to raise money for the Red Cross. Let's head to sport now, and it appears that TVNZ's FIFA World Cup experiment is paying dividends with record streaming numbers being generated. Sports reporter Bridget Tunnicliffe joins us now. Bridget, how many Kiwis turned into the All-Whites' first match against Iran on Tuesday?
Yeah, in terms of people who watched it on the box on TVNZ1, 460,000 people watched that first game. It was a pretty gripping one. It ended in a 2-2 draw. TVNZ Plus, the streaming platform, over 500,000 streams of the game itself. It was also the platform's largest streaming day ever, so almost 2.3 million streams across the whole 24-hour period. So that's people who watched live and people who watched on demand. When TVNZ secured the rights last year to one of the biggest sporting events in the world, they described it as a game changer. Hand in hand with it was the announcement of a new paid TV service. CEO Jodie O'Donnell said at the time, launching a paid product means TVNZ can competitively bid for and acquire more sports. And today, O'Donnell says that recording their biggest streaming day ever so early in the tournament reflects a growing role TVNZ Plus is playing in bringing major events to audiences across Aotearoa. And recently, TVNZ also started offering UFC. The major main card events are behind a paywall. So it'll be interesting to see where TVNZ might go to next. How ambitious are they in terms of bidding for other sports? It'll be interesting to see what the numbers are after the second game. So they'll always take on Egypt in a second match on Monday at 1 p.m. I'm curious to see whether will they be higher because New Zealand did so well in that first game, scoring 2 goals, or might there be a bit of a drop-off because there were a percentage of people perhaps tuning in because it was the All Whites' first game of the tournament and they were curious. So that remains to be seen. And the Black Six Men are still unbeaten at Hockey's Nations Cup. One player is also celebrating a special milestone. Yep, the Black Six Men finished pool play without a loss after defeating Japan 5-2 in Cape Town this morning. And Black Six defender Kane Russell entered the match sitting on 99 international goals. Japan's goalkeeper initially denied him on multiple occasions, producing some top saves. But with just over a minute remaining in the first quarter, Russell finally got his moment. And Kane Russell has played 222 matches for New Zealand. It's a very good effort. And Russell, who then scored a second goal later in the game, said it's something he never thought he'd achieve.
Extremely proud. My first goal was a special goal. My other goal was a special goal.
never imagined I'd reach this milestone, and there was only been 3 New Zealand players to do it before me, and they were all listeners to the game, so yeah, to be in that league is
actually in southern Florida.
So the Black
Right
Six
at
men
Cuba,
face host South
and
Africa in
broadcast
the
super
final
loud.
early on Saturday morning. The
Funded by
Black
the
Six
US
with
government.
women are also in action. They are actually
Talking about
hosting the
FIFA and
Nations
stuff,
Cup in
and it was
Auckland,
in
and
Spanish.
they meet France tonight at 6 p.m.
Basically,
Thank you, Bridget. Bridget Tunnicliffe
like it doesn't
joining us
explicitly
there
say
with
it, but
sport.
it's probably a station
Polls are about to open in the
devoted
UK's
to spreading
Makerfield
US propaganda,
by-election
which I
in
think is funny.
a contest which could result in a new British Prime
Cuba has a
Minister.
whole bunch of, like,
If
radio
Labour
bloggers.
candidate Andy Burnham wins, he's expected to challenge current Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer for the party's and the country's leadership. The BBC's Alex Forsyth has more for Manchester.
the Makefield by-election.
Yeah, my
Stay away.
In the towns that make up Makerfield, there's a by-election battle with huge consequences. Campaigners are out pounding the pavements in the final days. More journalists? Nowhere to escape detention. They are literally everywhere you go. All the action's a sign of how high the stakes are. So the people out canvassing, we've seen so many of them today. How's it going? The letterboxes, the leaflets are piling up. More than that. That's just a few from this week. There you are. Do you want them back? For some here, it's sort of a bit
hello
too
there.
much. Talk about the by-election?
So you're listening to radio station New Zealand right now
Can't believe
in the
it.
United
Every
States.
channel,
So
every station.
we're halfway around the world. It's currently 4 p.m. over there. It's the middle of the night. And by
Here's the reason. Andy Burnham thinks if he wins here, he'll challenge Keir Starmer in any
it's
leadership
alright,
race.
don't hurt my
Reform
feelings.
UK is
I
fighting
understand
to
this might
stop
be a
that
little bit
with their
boring.
candidate Robert Kenyon. Lead of interviews this week that both took part in a recent BBC debate.
This constituency, having been put on the bottom of the list by Westminster, finally is getting the attention it deserves, and it will have, I hope, real power and real influence. It's one of my favourite things I like doing, is going knocking on doors and listening to what people got to say.
One person.
There's a lot of clever people in
That's
Wigan
good.
with a lot of great ideas. They just need listening to.
One factor could be the impact of Restore Britain,
off,
set up by former Reform MP Rupert Lowe, prompting a fight on the political right. Their candidate hasn't given the BBC any interviews, but did record an
By the way, if
audio
you talk about
clip.
the BBC,
Take the streets.
that's British Broadcasting Corporation,
Nationally,
not
will
the
reduce
other
mass immigration.
kind.
Almost everybody
So,
here you speak to has
yeah.
a sense of what's at stake. They're
I know
making
I
a
mentioned
choice.
the BBC
The
one time at school.
consequences not
I
just for the
people
constituency,
insane.
but potentially for the country. There are 14 candidates standing in total, and they are making a final pitch for votes.
I'm setting out a clear plan for Makerfield to put down on crime and antisocial behaviour, regenerate the high street, and also cut congestion, cost of living is the big thing. Reducing people's energy bills. The Liberal Democrats have a really credible plan to save families £8 million a year.
We are standing on a platform of hope. Probably should be doing some bug spray, but decided not
And
to.
our children. Whatever the outcome, it will have significance both here and beyond.
I'll probably stop at 10 minutes
From
if
the
I don't
BBC.
see any more views.
In an interview with the
That's
BBC,
fine.
British Prime
Be a little
Minister
bit
Sir
late
Keir
in there,
Starmer
somebody's
has
fault,
warned
anyway.
Andy Burnham against making an immediate challenge to his leadership should he win the by-election. So Keir says the current mayor of Greater Manchester would play a really big part in government if he becomes an MP. He's also made it clear that he would fight in any contest for his job.
If
Back
you don't
home
see
now,
New
in
Zealand,
healthcare
you can
services
hear
have been
the
left
accent.
scratching their heads over what's behind an ongoing scabies outbreak plaguing Whanganui. The city has been hit by the highly infectious skin disease for about a year. Taranaki Whanganui reports Robin Larson has the details.
Scabies is an irritating condition caused by a parasitic mite which burrows into human skin to lay
And
its
also,
eggs.
it kind of makes sense. What the
Symptoms
heck are
can
they
include
talking about?
intense itching, which often worsens at night, and a pimple-like or bumpy rash. People infected with scabies might also see
Oh,
thin,
scabies.
raised, wavy grey-white burrows under their skin. Unichem Pharmacy Springdale owner Melina Holmes says it has seen scripts skyrocketing.
Pre this outbreak of scabies, which has been going for a while, we'd probably dispense maybe one person's script every 2 or 3 months. Whereas now we're seeing, so just for in the 18 days of June,
Hello there.
2 weeks.
It's my first live stream, so
for the tablet.
if you feel like clicking off, don't worry, it's fine with me. It won't hurt my feelings. I understand.
I mean, obviously,
Bye.
it's contagious. So when one person gets it in a family, you'll see, like, you have to treat the whole family and that. So I think it's just a very hard cycle to break, and it's very contagious. So we're seeing restaurants having outbreaks. We're seeing childcare centres and that having outbreaks, and then certain families just keep sort of cycling through their families.
Misty Hemingway is Primary Care Clinical Systems Lead at the Culinary Health Network. It's noticed an increase in scripts for scabies treatments across the pharmacies connected to its 8 GPs.
I feel like whenever I talk,
Says
I
there could be
start
some
talking,
factors
everybody wants
contributing
to go
to
away.
the outbreak.
You're looking at sometimes an ability for people to complete treatment fully, so therefore it can spread, it can seem like it's recurrent because it's not being eradicated in the initial
It's almost
treatment.
12 a.m. and I'm
And then
sitting
in
out here in my
other times,
pajamas.
the recommendation with hot washes
Nothing.
can be difficult for some families, so
Nothing
they don't have either
Yeah.
hot water access to their washing machines, or they can't afford, the additional hot water.
She says there are steps people can take.
Protecting themselves is typical hygiene. So making sure, laundering, bedding and clothing and linen, towels, etc. Regularly, if you know that you're in contact with other people within your family or community that have had recent outbreak of scabies.
So, like,
Melina Holmes, meanwhile, believes the might that cause scabies might be evolving.
My suspicion is that maybe the scabies, a bit like head lice back in the day, maybe they're developing some resistance to some of the treatments, which is why we're seeing the creams not working and then we're having to use the tablets, the ivermectin.
She says if no one's felt they get scabies, and it's not an infection she'd wish on anyone.
Even once we've treated it, the unfortunate thing with scabies is a person can be left with a horrible itch on their skin for weeks and sometimes months, and that's what we're actually seeing as well.
Hello!
It's an interesting
My
one.
first live stream,
but it's
one
really
click off is
unfortunate
perfectly
because
fine with me. Oh, 2 people.
it
won't hurt my feelings, but right now we're listening to Radio New Zealand on Shortwave, about 12,500 miles away.
And that was Taranaki Whanganui reporter Robin
best
Martin.
thing I've ever
20 to
gotten
5
from it.
now. Kia amo tonu mai. Do stay with us. You're listening to Checkpoint on RNZ National.
Listening to the radio station New Zealand, about
if you would like to get in
12,500
touch
miles
about
away.
anything you've heard on the
on
program this
Shortwave.
afternoon, or you can flick us an email,
And,
checkpoints at
just want to share this experience. Pretty cool.
rnz.co.nz. It is time for us to get to the news headlines now.
Just
Call
sit back and
Karen
listen if you want.
DNA. Thank you, sir. The Labour Party's leader has savaged Shane Jones for blowing his
Feel
travel
free to make
budget on
comments,
business class
feel free
flights
to
and a
like,
private limo,
feel free to do none
saying
of
he's not
those.
living up to the
Feel free
government's
to click
rhetoric.
off if you want
The
to.
Resources
I understand
Minister
this might be a little bit boring.
$63,000 to
Bye.
attend a mining conference
Every
in
time I
Canada
say
last year, almost double the approved budget. Chris Hipkins says the government is telling people to tighten their belts,
Okay.
but Shane Jones is living it up
Yeah, I
large
think at this
around
point
the
I'm just
world.
making people uncomfortable.
Otago University International
They're like,
Relations
oh dear, I
Robert
accidentally clicked
Catherine
on to
says
this
the
person's
memorandum of
first live
understanding
stream.
struck between the US
Wait,
and
they're
Iran
finally clicking.
doesn't seem to be an improvement. The
Don't hurt
agreement
my
broken by
feelings.
former President Barack Obama.
Well, like,
Donald Trump cancelled that agreement in 2018, calling
a little
it
bit
one of the worst
discouraging.
deals
Nah,
America
it's
has
not really.
ever signed.
Again,
Professor
nothing
Patton
fixes
says it
me
appears
right
the
now.
deal signed today is no better. And
Probably
critics believe
you,
Mr.
too much
Trump
too.
hasn't achieved many of his
Politics
war
here.
objectives.
Over
The Prime Minister says a $40 million expansion of Christchurch Airport's freight capacity will help unlock more economic growth in the South Island. Christchurch Airport has doubled its freight handling capability with up to 8 cargo planes
Hopefully
now
I
able to
entertained
park
some
at
of y'all
any
for a
one
little
time.
while.
Christopher Luxon, who formally opened the
That
freight
turned out
apron
pretty
at a
well.
ceremony this morning, says the South Island has massive economic momentum.
Goodbye.
He's leading New Zealand.